very often we see this with the Liberals, that the policies they undertake hurt those who they are supposed to help. While the Prime Minister is off taking an illegal vacation, they are raising taxes on those who will actually have to pay for that illegal vacation through things like security costs. And of course, who could forget the carbon tax? When it comes to the government's interest in raising taxes, this is, I know, of particular concern in my province of Alberta, but it's a concern really across the country, that the government is trying to force provinces to introduce a new tax. It is threatening them with punitive taxation if they don't follow along with this federal directive, even if it's an area that is clearly within provincial jurisdiction. Now, Madam Speaker, one of many problems with the carbon tax is that there are many Canadians who need to use fuel, need to use energy in some way, and simply cannot eliminate these costs. If you live in Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan, in a typical day in the winter, and it's minus 40, it's a great place to visit, but it gets cold. You can't just decide, I don't want to heat my home because of the carbon tax. That's not a realistic choice that a person can make. And of course, you might say that you could reduce your tax burden through retrofitting and things like that. But if you're a person with a modest income, you may not have the capacity up front to do that retrofitting. And one of the things that we did when Conservatives were in government is we brought in a home renovation tax credit to actually make it easier for people to make those investments in retrofitting. And that wasn't a punitive approach. That was an approach that helped people have the resources to make the kinds of improvements that they wanted. The government's approach is always to punish people through taxation to try and get them to behave in what they imagine to be a socially desirable way, whereas our approach was actually to provide support and tax credits so that people can make those kinds of decisions, things like doing home retrofits.